Hey everybody, R-Dub. We're going to talk cooking. Comfort food. I made a blog about comfort food way back in the beginning of the blog. This will be my first YouTube on comfort food. Beth and I like to watch a guy who has a YouTube channel called Sam the Cooking Guy out of San Diego, and he recently did a bacon, lobster, macaroni and cheese dish. It just looked fabulous and we had to try it. I know what you're thinking. Lobster and bacon and mac and cheese. I know many of you would probably go with the bacon real easy, but lobster, what an expensive way to go for comfort food. And don't think of it as macaroni and cheese. Just think of it as a wonderful pasta dish. So we went ahead and we tried it, and we're going to run through how to cook this. It doesn't take very long. It was a little over half an hour to get it done. 2 lobster tails, a half a pound of chopped bacon, fried up, medium crispy. We had 2 cups of milk for the cheese sauce. We have 2 tablespoons of vermouth. Give it a little bit of extra flavor. 8 ounces of pepper jack and cheddar cheese combined. 8 ounces of cream cheese. 6 ounces of Gruyere cheese. It's a Swiss cheese. Has a lot of flavor, good stuff. And 3 ounces of Parmesan. And 8 ounces of cream cheese in it, salt and pepper. There's garlic that'll go in with the lobster as we cook it. We're going to run through it step by step. I recommend trying it. I think you're going to like it. First thing we need to do with our lobster tails is to take them out of the shell. So we're going to cut the lobster shells right in half with these kitchen shears. Try to keep the tip up on the top of the lobster itself. All right, and then we'll split it open. Look at that nice pink lobster meat, and just pull it out of there. Oh, beautiful. All right, and we'll do the same. We have 2 lobster tails for this recipe. I know what you're thinking. Macaroni and cheese with lobster tail? What kind of money is this guy making? And it's not really mac and cheese. It's not. This is just a wonderful pasta dish that, for the sake of comfort food, what we're going to call mac and cheese. But it's a pasta dish with lobster and bacon and 4 different kinds of beautiful cheeses, made into a smooth as silk sauce and lots of great spices. So that's all it is. And then we're going to cut these into bite-sized chunks, and we're going to saute them in butter. We're going to boil an entire bag of rigatoni in this hot boiling water. And instead of boiling it the full 10 minutes that the instructions say we want just almost al dente, so we're going to boil it for 4 minutes and stop. I have salted the water. We'll get it up to a boil and let it simmer for 4 minutes. So we'll saute our lobster chunks in this butter for 1 minute, and then we will add our spices to it. Oh, it's a good sound. Lobster loves butter. It's a little light on the subject. What we're going to add after 1 minute, about 1 tablespoon of garlic and salt and pepper to taste. So it'll still be a little translucent after 1 minute. Ooh. It's a nice bite-sized chunk. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, but oh, I wish you could smell this. Lordy. Okay. We have 1 minute down. Put in our garlic. Oops. Pepper. As soon as we lose the translucent and we can't see through the meat anymore, we will pull it and set it aside. So we need a nice crispy top for our casserole. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these panko breadcrumbs, saute them in this butter, and then we're going to add some Old Spice, or some Old Bay spice, not Old Spice, because that would be bad. yeah, nice healthy amount. We made our own Old Bay. We will give the recipe for that in the actual blog spread itself that this is attached to. So you'll have to go back and forth between the blog and this video on YouTube. But we're just going to let this cook in here until it gets nice and brown and crispy, and this will be the topping for this wonderful casserole. So now the most important part, the cheese sauce, and this is really good cheese sauce. We're going to have 2 cups of milk, 6 ounces of a nice Swiss cheese called Gruyere. We have 6 ounces of a combination of pepper jack and sharp cheddar, 3 ounces of Parmesan, and an 8-ounce package of cream cheese and salt and pepper to taste. And then 2 tablespoons of vermouth. Then we're going to let it heat until it all blends together and starts to thicken. This is going to make a nice creamy cheese sauce for our pasta and lobster and bacon. Oh, I can smell that pepper. All right, we'll let this cook and we'll put it all together. So now we have all of our ingredients together. We have our beautiful cheese sauce that just melted together. We have a half a pound of bacon that we started off frying earlier. We have 2 lobster tails cut up into chunks. We have our breading to make a nice crunchy topping for our casserole, and of course all of our rigatoni. So we're going to add the rigatoni first. And we chose rigatoni because it has huge holes in it. And all that beautiful cheese is going to get right inside and outside of our pasta and just make it every single taste fantastic. We'll put our bacon in next. I'm not going to put all the bacon in because about a third of the bacon we're going to use to top our casserole with our crunchy bread. Mix it in. Oh, man. And have our lobster bites, or lobster chunks as we like to call them here in the great state of Wisconsin. Beth and I sampled a little bit of this lobster. This fabulous. The garlic and the butter just make it sing. All right, so mix it up real good. Get all that nice cheese inside and outside of all of our rigatoni. And then we're going to transfer this to this Dutch oven, and we're going to bake it at 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes until it becomes golden brown on the top side. Oh, look at that. Normally I would scrape that out to save time, We're going to do this. So now we take our beautiful, crunchy breading with Old Bay seasoning in it. Sprinkle that over the top. And finish up by putting the bacon on top. Spread it out a little bit, and we'll pop it in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes, and then we will eat. Now we took the liberty of putting our Dutch oven in the oven for a few minutes to get it nice and warm. We'll set our timer for 20 minutes and see what happens 20 minutes later. We'll keep an eye on it. So we have baked this casserole at 350 degrees for 20 minutes. We peeked. It looked great. Smells great. So the only thing left to do now is try it. We're going to take a spoonful out and bring it up. Wow. You can see the cheese is not stringy. It's oozing out of it back into the pan, which is exactly what we want. I'll go ahead and try some of this. See the bacon on top. We borrowed this recipe and adapted it from a guy in San Diego that refers to himself as Sam the Cooking Guy. And we watch him. We're subscribers to his YouTube channel. He has 1 million viewers. We have about 15. So, but at any rate, there are the variations on this particular recipe is that we did not use seafood stock. We thought that the stock that the lobster, when we cooked it, would be just enough. And he also used a roux, so his cheese is a little thicker. But again, I kind of like a cheese that's gonna at least run a little bit. So here's a nice lobster. Oh my goodness. That's good. And then there's our breadcrumbs and the cheese and a little bit of bacon on that noodle. Yeah, that is good. So this is comfort food. Sam calls it mac and cheese with lobster and bacon, but this was just a really good pasta meal. It didn't take us that long to make it. We did use a lot of pots and pans while we were making it, but it was worth it. It takes about a half an hour to make this, and it is worth every single minute. And you could wash it down with milk or water, but we'll go with some beer instead. Our dub, checking out.